So I lost around $3,000 as a pastor. Yeah, 3000. Like, how did that even happen? So how did I end up losing $3,000? I'm sure you guys are really curious, right? I mean, that's pretty much the reason why you guys clicked on this video. So long story short, I had a childhood friend who I hung out with all the time. And over the years, our friendship took an unexpected turn. So he began to ask me if I could lend him some money. And these were very small amounts. And so I decided to help him out as a friend. And there was a mutual understanding that he would pay me back. Looking back, this was a huge red flag, but I was young and I was very naive at the time. But still, being a friend, I helped him out and I lent him some money. And this would continue on for about the next 2 to 3 years or so. And it got to a point where I was really suspicious. The only times when he would contact me was when he needed money. And so I decided to block him out of my life. And as I look back at that whole experience, what hurt me the most was not the amount of money that I lost, because money is paper. I could gain that back very easily. Well, it'll take me some time. But what hurt me the most, what pierced me a lot more, was the sense of betrayal that I got from him, right? He was a close friend of mine, but he used me, he manipulated me, he lied to me, and he broke that sense of friendship that I had with him. And so, what do we do in those moments? And so this is what I'm learning about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or pretending as if nothing ever happened. There's no way that we can simply just move on from all the pain and the hurt that we've experienced and what we've endured, because those are painful memories that are seared into our brains. And so it's really hard for us to simply just move on and to let it go. And forgiveness is definitely not revenge or payback or retaliation, even though every living fiber in our body wants to do so. And there are times when I want revenge. There are times when I definitely want payback for all the hurt that I've endured. But that's not the life of a Christian. And so what we really have to ask ourselves is, what is forgiveness? You see, if forgiveness was based on our feelings, then no one would forgive anyone, because it's so easy to be bitter. It's so easy to hold grudges. It's so easy to have resentment. But it takes extreme faith to forgive. And one pastor said this about forgiveness. He said, forgiveness is giving others what God gave to you. And if you really think about it, none of us deserve God's grace or forgiveness or God's mercy. None of us deserve a second chance. But we have that because of God's grace, right? That's really what grace is. Grace is a gift to the undeserving. And because of God's forgiveness, we have a second chance. And so God's forgiveness flows to us and through us. Forgiveness is definitely not easy, and that's something that I still struggle with to this day. But something that God has been teaching me recently is that healing from my past hurt doesn't come with time, and it doesn't come with simply moving on and forgetting as if nothing has ever happened. But healing comes from forgiveness. It takes faith and not feelings to forgive someone, because if forgiveness was based on feelings, then no one would ever want to forgive anyone, right? And so that's something that I'm learning, is that I need to give others what God has given me, because I was undeserving of God's grace and God's mercy and God's second chance, but He still gave it to me because I am His child. And in the same way, I need to extend that forgiveness to other people, even though I think they are undeserving, because again, forgiveness at the end of the day is giving others what God has given you. And so I really hope that you take that small step of faith towards forgiveness today. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you are blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. And before you go, make sure to like that button. All right, see ya. Bye.